Hey YouTube, AJ here, and today I'm going to be showing you the beginnings of a project that I started a long time ago. And I say beginnings because I'm going to actually try to get it finished. I don't know how long till I get everything finished, but in the next 6 months or so I'd like to have it together as one unit and actually running. So we'll see how that goes. But for today, I'm going to just introduce the project and show you where we're starting from at this time. I've actually had this bike for a little over 20 years, managed to hold on to it through a whole bunch of trials and tribulations, even though I didn't make a lot of progress on it. I made some progress here and there, but now I'm at a place in life where I want to put some concentrated effort into this project and actually see it through. So let's start with what it is. This is my 1959 AJS Model 31. The Model 31 is a 650cc twin cylinder motorcycle. AJS means is a brand from England. It's a British bike that was imported way back when. The sister bike to this is a matchless. Basically AJS and matchless in the 50s was basically like Ford and Mercury. There's just, badge engineering basically. So let's go over what I have. The plan for this bike is to be a cafe racer. Now, before all you purists start screaming at me, let me take you back in time and show you the pictures of when I actually bought this bike. There was not a lot there to go from, and a restoration, at least for me, was way out of line, and I didn't want to start with something that was too nice, because I didn't plan on making the bike a concourse type restoration. I didn't want to put that kind of money into it, and restoration is well out of my budget. So I'm going to be making it a cafe racer and make it fit what I want it to be. So let's take a look at those pictures of when I bought the bike, and hopefully you'll understand why I didn't feel this bike was a candidate for restoration. Now, looking at this bike today, you've seen I've done some stuff here. A lot of it is just kind of sitting together. It's not actually installed. The seat is not installed. The rear fender is not installed. Front fender is not installed. The tank, I actually have made mounts for that. So let's see what I've done here. So looking at the differences right away, you can see that the bike does have a lot more pieces and parts that it didn't have in the older pictures. The one thing missing is the exhaust. That is still in the garage. I do have, I'm going to be reusing the original header pipes and running aftermarket mufflers on it. I do have all that. I have rear set pegs that I'll be putting on this and getting rid of the front pegs. I will be using the I'm not sure yet if I'm going to mount my rear sets here or here. It's just I got to get on it and see how it feels before I do that. But I'm probably going to be mounting them here, just to give my legs a little more room. Looking at things I have done so far, the front fender, I'm not sure what this came off of. I think I got this off of eBay, just cheap. I bought it mainly because I like the little duckbills on it. And I have already taken this fender. I don't know if you can see the seam in there, right in front of just to the right of where my thumb is. But I have taken about 6 inches out of the middle of this fender, and it will sit more. You can see the mounting holes I have. I've got brackets I've made to mount that just don't have them on there right now, but it will sit back more like that, where it's lower in the back and just over the center line of the front. That's the plan for that. I am going to be rebuilding and reusing these forks. Basically these are the Norton road holder forks. I do have, this is the same headlight shell that was in the photos. I have painted it black and put the amp meter back in it, cleaned up the amp meter, put it back in it, although it's not snapped down in yet. And I did get and find a new headlight trim ring with good chrome, so I am using that. And I have modified a LED headlight to fit in the bucket, so I'm going to be running an LED headlight just for make my lighting better. I have fit Clubman bars on there. I think I'm going to continue to go with the Clubman bars. I found these old levers, the balls have been broken off. I like that, it gives it more of a knife edge look. I'm going to use those old levers and the throttle assembly. I can't remember where I got this throttle assembly, but I'm sure I got it at Mid-Ohio Vintage Days. I got it there somehow. But anyway, that's what I'm going to be using for my throttle, although it needs to go up further. I don't know why it's not, but anyway. The tank is an AJS tank. I think it's a 54 if I remember correctly. I had to make my own mounts for it, at least for the rear. The front mount was still there, so the front mount was still on the bike. There was no rear mount, so I made my own rear mount and welded it to the frame. This frame tube is something else. If you saw in the pictures, you saw where in the pictures this entire frame had been chromed, except for some reason they had cut a section out like this in the middle of the backbone and then sleeved it really crappy, and they didn't chrome this center section for some reason. They chromed like to here and here. It was weird. I don't know what they were doing. But in the end, I ended up taking that out and putting a better, a solid bar in each of these and plug welding it in, and with a new tube backbone to make the backbone a lot stronger. Even though in the end, I don't think I'm going to be running this frame. It's a single down tube frame. I have a 61 frame that after I get everything up and running and proven, and when I go to do the cosmetic changes, do all the paintwork and everything, I'm going to change everything over onto the 61 frame to have the twin down tube look. One thing I did do was I couldn't find fuel taps for it with a reasonable amount, so I took and I found gas valves with the right threading, and they had this weird big giant red handle on it. The red handle turned out to be aluminum underneath, so I reshaped it to give it a much nicer profile and basically made my own fuel taps out of those gas valves. So yeah, with a little fiddling, I think I'll get that where I like it, and the valve will turn on and off, and I got one on each side. So I'm pretty happy with what I got there going on there. My Amal carburetor, I have already taken it off and completely gone through it, cleaned it completely out, resealed it, everything, added the velocity stack. Everything else is pretty stock. Everything else about the engine is all stock. I haven't touched it yet. You can tell up here, it's kind of hard to see if you don't know it, but there are some broken fins on these heads right here. I do have another set of heads that I will eventually put on this thing with all good fins. So the rear fender, again, was another eBay deal, real cheap. And again, I got it because I like the little duck bill on the back. It's just some kind of trailer fit, so it's not sitting right now. It'll eventually be like that. But I just like the little duck bill on the back to kind of match on the front. And that's where we'll go with that. I don't know if I'm going to keep the original shocks. I don't like the look of them, number one. I might do something there, but for now, I mean, obviously they're not good, but I either have to try to rebuild them or something else. The wheels are pretty rusty, so I'm either going to paint the center sections or maybe the whole thing for short term, and look to get new wheels eventually. I need 40 spoke. I heard the spoked wheels from a Bonneville will work for me, so I might try that. Try to find a set of those. When I say a Bonneville, the newer Bonnevilles. So that's the plan there. This seat came, I think, I'm not positive. It's another swap meet find from Mid Ohio Vintage Days. That seat, I think, looking at it, came off of a BSA Victor, but I have already chopped it off the bottom flange. I've taken, I think it was like close to 2 inches. I took off that all the way around to make it shorter and thinner. And I also, no, I did not cut that foam. So that's the original foam from it. I do have a new seat cover for it. I'm not going to go into all the parts that I have for it. I have modified the back of this. I have an aluminum taillight housing that's going to slide in here to put my taillight and mount my license plate right there. So that's what we're going to do there. I am not going to run any front turn signals on this thing, so wiring is going to be to a minimum on it. As I was saying, this tank is I think it's off a 54. I'm not sure what model AJS, but it was off an AJS. I'm going to be running, I can't remember what year my tank badges are. I have a set of AJS tank badges. They're the bigger oval ones. They're a big oval with the AJS logo on it. I will be getting some sort of tank rubbers here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that yet, but I will do something there. And I will be repainting everything to match. I'm going to go with, I'll keep my forks black, I'll keep my headlight black, but my tank and fenders are going to be like a royal blue color, I think is what I'm going to go with. Just because I like it with cream accents. I got a flip gas cap on here. I haven't mounted it yet to it. I'm going to end up running it at an angle like that, which seems kind of weird, but I'm going to be doing that so I can get full lock out of my Clubman bars. And so that's the bulk of the bike. It does look better than when I started with it. Not by a lot, but you know, I managed to hold on to this bike through a lot of tumultuous period in my lives, and several moves and relocations and stuff, and just love the bike anyway. So now the goal is to get it streetable. I would like to have this by this spring running, not looking good, but running. Basically everything will be together, running, and then in one piece. Real quick in this mess, there's my 61 frame with the twin down tubes. I just like that look better, and supposedly it's a stabler frame. Whereas the bottom cradle on that 59 frame bolts in and out, this whole frame is one piece. It doesn't have a bottom cradle that comes in and out. There's the mufflers I'm going to be using. Back there, hanging on the edge of the shelf, there are the header pipes. So that's some of the pieces. I got 2 other sets of bars, a flat set of bars and a low rise set of bars. I may or may not using, most likely I won't be using those. I do like the Clubmans on it, so hopefully it's comfortable enough for me. Going down through here, and there's my oil tank. Back behind it, there's my toolbox. That is in really rough shape. I'm gonna have to do some work. I got the toolbox body came with the bike, but the lid wasn't with it, so I'm gonna have to do some work on both of those to make them all work. And then in the shelving, there's a ton of other parts. All right, so that's the starting point for my 1959 AJS Model 31 650cc vertical twin British motorcycle project. So hopefully I would like to have this where I could ride it in this year's Gentleman Ride this spring. I don't know if I'll get there or not, but I'm going to try. That again won't be finished at that point, just hopefully have it rideable at that point. And then over the next 6 months to a year, work on getting it finished. It would be nice if I could have it finished by October of next year, because there's a show in Charlotte called the Congregation Motorcycle and Hot Rod Show that I would like to maybe get it into. We'll see. I don't know if I can make that either, but that's a stretch, I think, but might try. So yeah, comment below what you think. If you have suggestions, things you like, don't like about it. If you have any experience with it, things to look out for, let me know. Yeah, anything. I don't care. If you don't like that I'm not restoring it, let me know. There's a reason I'm not, but it's not getting restored. Unless you have a lot of money and you want it more than I do. I'm basically putting this out here on YouTube to show my intentions to the world and try to keep me motivated to get this project going. So like, comment, subscribe, give me motivation to finish this bike. Until then, later YouTube.